Story time with Kristen. This is gonna be rather personal edition. I'm gonna talk about dating and relationships. I'm super qualified to do this because I've been married and divorced twice, and engaged and broken up once. So I have lots of experience with relationship. I won't say I have a lot of experience with failed relationship because I personally don't believe that just because a relationship ends that it failed. I just think there are long-lasting relationships and there are short relationships and medium relationships. Relationships we learn from, relationships that we don't learn from, and we have to do another one just like it in order to really learn the thing. You get the idea. So I'm just gonna riff. I'm just gonna talk about this stuff because here's the thing. I have an issue with podcasts and commentaries and stuff that are mapped out when it comes to stuff like this because it's messy. And we don't always have it sussed out into a bulleted list and a beginning and a conclusion. And so I don't know, I'm here to be me, and there's merit to sharing experience and perspective because it unites us all, makes us all feel like we're not the only person to feel a certain way. And I always say, if I can make my experiences count in someone else's life for the good, then it matters more than just for my life. So that's why I'm here. So I'm just gonna riff. Riffing is my favorite. That's gonna be on my next shirt. Riffing is my favorite. If you have a topic you want me to riff on, let me know, and I'll riff. In fact, we should actually make that a thing. I should just get a guest on here and just have them just throw out a topic, and I'll just on it, because I can. I'm a really good, I call it word vomiting. I can word vomit about just about anything. I have a can of Diet Mountain Dew over there. Let's go. Diet Mountain Dew. So Diet Mountain Dew is one of the only diet sodas that tastes a lot like the non-diet version. Like, of all of the diet sodas, like, Diet Pepsi doesn't taste like Pepsi. It tastes like Diet Pepsi. Diet Coke tastes like Diet Coke. They don't taste like the full sugar version, if you agree with me. But Diet Mountain Dew tastes just like regular Mountain Dew. In fact, it's better because regular Mountain Dew makes me fall asleep and makes me want to vomit. Diet Mountain Dew gives me a nice little caffeine boost and the flavor, and it's not real Mountain Dew. So, and as far as Diet Pop, yes, it's a chemical shiz storm, but we all have to start where we are and move a little bit closer to ideal. And so I don't drink beer. I don't drink vodka during the day. What else don't I do? I don't eat Snicker bars during the day. I haven't ordered pizza. So honestly, drinking a Diet Mountain Dew is really terrific. It's a healthy option for me compared to all those other things that I just said. In all seriousness, there are certain things that are really, really hard for some of us to give up, and we move closer and closer and closer to what I call the Gwyneth Paltrow level. We have like standard American diet. Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow does everything perfect. She eats perfect, she looks perfect, she has perfect skin, she has perfect children, she has perfect clothing. Everything is perfect when you're Gwyneth Paltrow. And so the rest of us just start over here like normal people. Like, life can be crappy. Our skin looks like garbage. When we wake up, our eyes are squinted closed. Our skin looks like crap if we don't wash up our makeup. Our clothes wrinkle when we wear them. And we do not poop out like rainbows, unicorns, and sunshine. Period. That's all of us. All right? And so we eat like that. Gwyneth eats steamed kale that tastes like filet mignon, and she loves it. And then we are raised on chicken nuggets from Wendy's. And as we grow up, we need to get closer to eating the way Gwyneth does, because let's face it, she's got it all figured out. But we have to take little steps, because if we throw away our chicken nuggets and our Little Caesars $5 hot and ready and just go right to steamed Brussels sprouts and, tempeh with hemp hearts on it, we're going to hate our lives. And we're not going to look like Gwyneth Paltrow anyway. So we start here and we go like this. Just a little bit. We just quit death gripping the Wendy's chicken nuggets and we start going to Chick-fil-A and getting the grilled kind. That's what I mean. We say, I'm not going to drink 10 cans of Mountain Dew today. I'm going to drink 8. And then maybe I'm just going to only drink Mountain Dew on weekends. And then, oh, I'm going to try Diet Mountain Dew. And now you've cut all the calories out of your life from pop, soda, pop, wherever. And you've just moved a little closer. You see how this works? Yeah. So that's why I drink Mountain Dew. You like that? All of that just word vomited right out of me. It's a skill. It's a superpower. I didn't ask for it. It was given to me. All right, dating. So I'm gonna riff. So recently, I got out of a very short relationship. I went into the relationship because I had this epiphany that, you know what? I have closed myself off to relationship and to dating. Why? Well, because I was not really completely done processing my second divorce. And so I took some time to really let that sink in. When I got divorced for the second time, it was a shock to me. I got married, really, really believing it was my fairy tale, my happily ever after. I don't remember ever being so happy or excited about anything. When I got married the first time, it was under a cloud of shame. It was a total shyster of a thing. I married someone who ended up being terrible for me, and I knew it. We got married at the JP with my mom, looking horrified. I'm sure, I can only imagine what the daylight was like for my mom. And we went to the Mall of America and stayed in a hotel and went to the arcade. The end. So when I was proposed to by my second husband and we planned a wedding, it was just one of the most joyful, amazing experiences of my life. And I remain so grateful I got to have that. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And I loved my wedding and I loved all about it. And no, I'm not ashamed to cry here. I'm not ashamed to let you see me cry. I don't try to hide it. I'm not going to do that thing. No, this is life. This is people. This is me. I had a really fun wedding. We had breakfast. Love breakfast. I just had breakfast, actually. My lunch was breakfast. It was eggs with Canadian bacon, a little cheese wrapped in a low-carb wrap. It was amazing. Anyway, we had breakfast buffet. We had donut kebabs. So we got like donut holes, and I spent every night after work for weeks taking bamboo skewers, punching out little heart shapes with a little heart cutter out of different colored paper, gluing them onto the end. So I had these like bamboo skewers with hearts on the end, so they were heart kebab skewers, and then we put donut holes on them, and we had trays of donut hole kebabs. Come on, it's so cute. You know you love how cute that is. And then we had a coffee bar. So we had, it was July 31st, and we had an indoor venue. So the wedding was outside and we came inside for brunch. And so we had an iced coffee bar. So you could come get an iced coffee, go sit outside. It was 85 degrees. Of course it was. It was July 31st. Anyway, wonderful wedding. Everything was pink and blue and hydrangeas. And I loved my dress. I had bought a really expensive, beautiful dress, and it came in and I hated it. So I returned it for credit, and I found a dress that was $99. And I loved my dress. And I used the rest of that to buy lots of other stuff. Anyway, a little side note, if you hate your wedding dress, don't wear it, get a different one. So, I loved my wedding, and it was super fun. And I was marrying the love of my life. And I got to be a stepmom. And it was awesome. And I didn't expect it to end. And I fought like hell that it wouldn't end. And I denied all of the realities that said that this was not going to work. And it crushed me. And if you know me, I'm pretty unflappable and I'm pretty happy all of the time. And so I kept up that facade and I didn't tell anyone what was going on. And when it was over, it was over. And I had to get out, and I had to get out. And I isolated so I didn't have to talk about it. And I focused on making my life as wonderful and awesome as I could. I got the sunniest, most beautiful little apartment across from my gym where I could see my friends every day, across from my yoga studio so I could do yoga. upstairs from a Starbucks so I could have coffee, right by a park so I could walk my doggy every day, close to the lake so I could run around the lake. I just set up a little world where I could have all of my favorite things so that I could be okay. And I did. And I was. But it didn't take any time to really soak in how sad it was. I just wanted to be okay. And I was. And then years later, here in Florida, in Miami, in the happiest time of my life, all of a sudden this sadness leaked out. And it leaked out. Because sadness, when you don't deal with it, it's like a giant pink elephant under the rug. And you can step around it. And you can pretend like it's not there, but eventually a foot sticks out and a tail sticks out, and eventually the whole thing has to be pulled out. So it doesn't go away, but you trip on it. And so to sit with that sadness, it felt like it might kill me. It was so overwhelming. But to let that out meant that I could let whatever, when you let out sadness, there's a void. And everything around you flows in. Well, what's around me here is joy and light and love and opportunity. So by letting that sadness out, what has flown in is hope and joy and opportunity and what's next. And it's been a beautiful transition, and it needed to happen. And all of a sudden I realized, maybe I do want to date someone again. Because as soon as I got here, I was like, I went on some dates and it was just like too much. And I'm like, no, I don't date. But letting that sadness out made me realize, okay, part of the reason I said I don't date is that I couldn't bear the idea of meeting somebody, falling in love, and risking that sadness again. Because I hadn't even let go of the first pile. And so I was very closed off. So I thought, all right, I'm ready to date. I think I should date. And I didn't really do anything about it. I didn't go like, find a date. But I opened my heart up to the idea. And so my really good friend, been really good friends for a long time, we took a step into the romantic department. And I am someone who, I'm just going to be honest here. I'm just going to put it all out there. I don't even care. I'm someone who's like all or nothing, and I don't like gray. So I like to make a decision, yes or no, in or out. So dating can be hard for me because you don't know right away if this person is going to be a viable mate or long-term anything. You can have a really, really good time and feel really good and connected, and then the next time you see them, it can be really off. And the way my brain work is if we have a really good time, oh, okay, this works, this is great. We don't need to like, let's just call it a day. Let's do this. And then if it's a bad date, it's like, oh, nope, you were terrible. I never want to see you again. This does not work. So I have a really hard time with ambiguity and just letting things flow and just waiting and seeing. Waiting and seeing, and we don't hang out in a lot of ways. Some things I know I have to do that with. But with relationship, I just want to know, in or out, which bucket do you go in? For me, not for me. And so when I was feeling this way about my friend, like, and lean in to this relationship, everything seemed to be perfect. I felt like I heard from the universe, like, this is your person. Well, if that's the case, then let's just do this. Let's just date. Let's make a plan. Let's be together forever. Like, boom. And so we're talking about like friends into like all in. This is my person, like that for this much time, because that is not really practical or wise. And it just blew up in the face. So that was very recently. A lot of you who watch my podcast, watch my YouTubes, know exactly who I'm talking about, which is fine. I don't care. So that all blew up, and because I went in way too hard, too fast, and I ignored warning signs, my instincts, my gut. It was too important to me to just have it figured out than to just say, all right, well, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to enjoy right now. Enjoying right now is really hard for me. So that blew up, and there was a lot of painful things that came out of that for me, because when you ignore your gut and your soul and your instincts and you try to make something work, you end up really, really betraying yourself. And I betrayed myself hardcore because I lost sight of what I am supposed to be doing, which is living out my truth, being true to me. And things on paper and logically said, this person is for me because this, and this. Well, there was a whole slew of stuff over here that didn't fit. But because It's logic. This makes sense. The rest of it must not matter. And the way I'm feeling in my gut must not matter. And this absolute, like, oh my God, I'm feeling like I'm going to jump out of my skin feeling must be wrong. So I went ahead and just ignored that for a long time until I couldn't. Thank God I didn't waste a lot of time. Kristen in the past would have wasted a long time in that relationship trying to make it work. And like I've done in other relationships, thinking that it was me, thinking it was my baggage. So here's the other danger is I've been hurt. I've had my feelings hurt. I've been let down. I've been through a lot of stuff in relationships. And so when I have a natural reaction in a relationship, something that I don't like, my first thought is not to trust my instinct. My first thought is to say, wow, there's something wrong with me. This is my baggage. This is my problem. Instead of like, no, this is not sitting well with me. I do not like this. I'm going to either change this, talk about this, or take this as a warning sign that this does not suit me. Instead, I've always defaulted to I'm broken. I must be broken. And again, in this relationship, that was I must be broken. And in the end, this person was quick to say, you're not broken. I think you're just fine. But clearly you need help. Because I love you, you love me, it all makes sense. And the only reason we're not together is because you're blocking it. So you should get help. Goodbye, person. Goodbye. So goodbye to that person. Anyway, but I'm like, all right, I want to find a partner. I'm only 43 and I have a lot of love to give. I have excellent wife game. If you've ever been married to me, the two of you now watching this, I have excellent wife game. I love to love and I love to be in a relationship. I'm a really good partner. I'm not a perfect partner. I'm like anyone else. My flaws. I'm a total pill. Okay? But I'm a good partner. And I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. And I want to do that. And I'm not afraid to say that. I used to be afraid to say that. So I'm like, all right, I think I'm going to date. And I need to get out more. I never leave the beach. I live on the beach. Except now I go down to South Beach for a boot camp. But those periods of time where I'd go weeks without driving my car, just didn't go anywhere. Boot camp in my house and walk to the store, nothing. No restaurants, no nothing. And so here I've been here, a year and a few months, and I've been to 10 restaurants. I've been to like nothing. And so I wanted, like, I have to get out and do more things. Luckily, I've got girlfriends here that are super fun and we're starting to go do things. So my whole goal was I want to get out more and I want to meet people. So obviously I need to download dating apps. So dating apps. Dating apps are a hot fever dream of insanity. And at first it's fun. It's like, ooh, this person liked me. Ooh, this person matched with me. This must be my person. Holy buckets. So there's billions of people on these apps. You can't really tell anything about any of them by their profile. They describe themselves, they have photos, but here's the thing. Here's what guys do. And I know that women on dating apps do shitty things, crappy things too. But I'm just talking about, I don't know what women do. I can't see it. I'm not dating women. Men often on Bumble. So I don't really use Tinder. I don't use Tinder at all. I've only used it a couple times. I met Randy on Tinder. Anyway, lots of people who are happily married met on Tinder. But anyway, okay. Randy and I met on Tinder, but we met in person because we found out that we were raised very similarly. So we were meeting in person, not for a hookup. We met in person because we had like, I don't know, a 4-hour conversation over coffee. And there was no intention. It was, why am I defending this? Whatever. I was with Randy for a long time and Randy's an amazing human being. And I'm very grateful I met Randy on Tinder. Randy and I are still very good friends, which I'm very grateful for. It's his birthday today. Sidebar, shiny objects. Okay. Anyway, so Bumble. Bumble's the app of choice for me, although I'm not using it anymore. Guys will have a picture, really attractive picture. You scroll down to see other pictures. Now those pictures are probably a little more recent, so maybe not as attractive, clearly older. There's usually a picture of them with a fish and with a car. Now in Minnesota, that fish is like a crappie or a walleye, either on an ice fishing, in an ice fishing house, or, in a crappie Minnesota lake. In Florida, it's just like a marlin or a giant ass fish while they're on a deep sea boat or on their yacht. The picture of them with the car. In Minnesota, it's probably an SUV, like, or a big truck. Like, ooh, the big truck. Here, it's like a Lamborghini or Maserati. So this is what they do. Like, here's me 10 years ago to get you to keep looking. Here's my description. I want to travel. I want to spoil you. I'm just looking for a real woman that I can spoil, and that's real, and that's real. I want real. And then the pictures of them with a giant fish and a giant car. Maybe they own the car, maybe they own the yacht, who cares, whatever. Bottom line, they're saying, hey, I can catch things, and hey, I can buy things. I don't care about either one of those things. Take your car, go somewhere else. Because if we go out, I'd really like to drive my car because I have a Miata and I love it. I don't really want your car. I don't want your fish. I don't want to go fishing with you. I don't care that you caught a fish. You just put that back. How much money did you spend to go pick that fish up out of the water and put it back? I don't know, but you probably could have bought, I don't know, you could have bought something that you could have in your hand forever. Anyway, so that's what it is. A young photo, a fish photo, and a car photo. And then usually a picture of them with a woman with either her face is blocked out because it's an ex, or the face is blocked out because it's their kid, or a whole group of guys proving that, hey, I have friends. Look at my cool friends. So if you date me, I can catch stuff. I have a car and I have cool friends. That is the Bumble profile. And so you're like, until you find someone that looks maybe like they're a real human being who wants to have a conversation. So then you swipe right because, oh, you matched. And then you say, hi. And then they say this, hi, how's it going? It's fine. Really? That's what you're going to say? How's it going? It's going greater. What are you up to tonight? I'm sitting here on a dating app. All of my wildest dreams have come true. Like, the stupid things that get said. There's no thought. It's just like, someone matched with me. Hey, what's up? Nothing. I'm on a dating app. This sucks. I don't know. Anyway. So let's say that you have more conversation than that, like, you know, hey, I like your profile. Hey, you know, you're a trainer, or hey, you're an investment banker, whatever. You know, how long have you been in Miami? That's a good one. I'm okay with that one because everybody moves here from somewhere. So let's say that you have a conversation, you exchange more than one. Hey, you want to text outside of the app? Yes, I do, because the app interface sucks. So now we're texting. So then it usually dwindles to nothing, or they just like go into something like, hey, it's crazy that it's raining. And you're like, and now we're talking about weather. This is horrible. Or, you know, get some good banter going on. I like a little sarcasm. I like a little humor. But my friend Courtney taught me this. Do not meet anybody unless you've had a video chat with them. Because in a video chat, you will understand if you actually want to spend more than 5 minutes with them. Because many times you go on a date, you walk in, and immediately it's like, oh God, nope. But you have to endure something. Video chat solves that. So, hey, do you want to hop on a video call? If they're like, no, you're like, all right, well, there's a reason for that. So video call, typically you see, oh wow, this person is a lot older than they said in their profile. Oh, this is the other thing they put in their profile. Their profile will say they're 49. And then in the description, it'll say, blah, 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 driven, educated, smart, intelligent, witty, passionate, love to show you romance. Oh, by the way, I'm 56. I can't change it in the app. Yes, you can. You 1,000% can. So, witty, charming, sophisticated, dirty freaking liar. Let's just put that. They do that. So if I've set my parameters for age, like I want to look at men that are between 43 and 49, if you're 56, you don't get a chance to see younger women. So you say you're 49 so that they appear in my searches because they're a dirty freaking liar. So, I don't know, so if that's in there, no, you're a stupid idiot and you think I'm an idiot that I can't tell that you are lying. Anyway, but you hop on a video chat and most of the time you find out, are they like really a lot older? I'm not against older men. I've married one, I've dated them. Typically, I skew older, but just be honest. Anyway, old, a lot of them have really bad teeth. I'm not a terrible person, but if you have terrible, like they can be crooked, but if they're dirty, I can't do dirty teeth. Like I have a toothbrush. I change my toothbrush every day. That's excessive, but you could use one once a week. That would be good, especially if you're on a dating app looking for love. Just saying. Anyway, and then you find out if they have anything to say. This one guy I did a video chat with, he was a trainer. His pictures, he was super buff. I'm obviously very attracted to muscles. I have muscles. I want to look at muscles. I want you to have muscles. You don't have to have all muscles, but you need to have some muscles or it'd be nice. So super ripped. He's a trainer. He was super hot. So chat, let's do a video chat. He got on the video chat with a bowl of Cocoa Puffs. Like in my face. Yeah, so hi. I'm like, hi, is this a bad time? Maybe are you eating dinner? No, I'm fine. Just got home from work. Oh, okay, so what do you do? I'm a trainer. Yeah, really? Do you train in a facility or a personal trainer? Yeah. Okay, well, what do you like to do for fun? I don't know. And this is like he's flopping on the couch. Camera's going everywhere. I had nothing to say. He had nothing to say. And I was like, all right, well, it's nice chatting. I don't think we're a connection. No, we're not? Okay, why? Well, would you like me to be honest? I wish I would have said like, because you're brainless and you're eating Cocoa Puffs in my face. If this is first video chat date, what are you going to do in 2 years? You're going to bring your dinner into the bathroom? Like, really? So, no. There was that. But a lot of times you can have a video chat and hit it off so much so that you want to go on a date. So, that happened to me a while back. Went on a date. Went on a video chat with this guy. Was super funny. I love humor. I will never, ever date anybody ever again that does not make me laugh. You have to make me laugh. It is like lifeblood to me. Because I'm funny. I know I'm funny. And if you are not at least as funny as me, if not funnier, I'm sorry. It's just not going to work. Or you at least have to laugh at the things I say. Anyway, this guy was really funny, very sarcastic, which is worrisome because a lot of times people who are sarcastic, you can't tell if they can be heartfelt because a lot of times sarcasm is covering up for some insecurity or the fact that they don't want to ever be vulnerable or just means they're an asshole. I know because I can be sarcastic. Anyway, I deflect with sarcasm. Yes, I do. When I'm uncomfortable or I don't want to answer a question. Humor. Anyway, which I feel like I've learned when I can use that and when I shouldn't. And some people have not. So anyway, had a really great call. It was super fun. He's like, let's get together. Let's go get coffee. So I met him, Lincoln Rumbaugh for coffee. I saw him. I immediately knew that this was not going to work because he was wearing a baggy, dirty t-shirt. Your t-shirt can be baggy, but you could wash it. I'm sorry, I'm sounding like such a raging jerk. But like, I don't feel like that's a crazy baseline. Anyway, but whatever. He was nice. We got coffee. He was funny. And I thought, well, worst case scenario, I'm going to have a fun night hanging out with this fun person. He was fun. I found out he'd recently lost a lot of weight. Hence why the shirt was baggy. Super cool. So now I'm like, all right, like I respect this. I get it. He hadn't like learned how to dress his new body. So I'm like, let's go to Lululemon. Let's look at some clothes. So we did. And it was really fun. He's a really, really nice person. I really liked him as a person. There was no attraction there for me at all. It just wasn't. You either have chemistry or you don't. But the worst, it was really terrible because he was so sarcastic and so funny that I couldn't tell if he was being an asshole or if he was being nice when he was trying to be nice. Like, we ended up sitting down for dinner. We went to dinner and I was asking him questions about his life and like his feelings about moving to Miami. So I like asked a question like, you know, how does it feel like, you know, you're away from your family? Like, do you keep in touch with them? Is it tough? You know, just trying to like have a human conversation. He was like, that's such a good question. Thanks for asking that. And I'm like, is that like you asshole for digging? Or I couldn't tell. And then during the date he reached over, he's like, you're doing great. The hell does that mean? I'm doing great? I know I am. Like, what the hell? Like, I wasn't nervous to sit down with you, Mr. I cannot be serious. It was so insulting. Whatever. But here's the problem. I'm too nice. I can't be like, all right, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I gotta go like in the middle of dinner. I can't do it. So I saw through the date through to the end. And then I was like, maybe that wasn't so terrible. Like, I really liked him as a person. He had a great dog. His dog was amazing. I still follow his dog on Instagram. So I thought about going out and hanging out with him again. That, sure, it's not like my person, but like I had enough fun. But the further away I got from that, I'm like, do I want to spend time just having like a little bit of fun? Like with someone that I know, not only for me, but like, would that be kind to lead somebody on if he wants to date me again? So then I'm like, no. So I didn't really know what to do. So I didn't have the sign off conversation. That's the hard part for me. How do you have the last conversation where you're like, actually, I don't want to see you again? I don't know how to do that. So I just usually let it like fizzle out. It's probably rude of me. It's really rude of me. Whatever. I can't help it. It's what I do. Men do worse things. It's fine. I'm justifying myself. I don't care. Anyway, so that was one date. And then recently, my most recent dating experience, I'm going to tell you. So, I always do this video chat thing. But there was this one guy that I had matched with right before Christmas, right before I got COVID. And he was nice and fun, and his pictures were, he looked like just a real person. That's really the thing I'm after. Just someone who looks real. Who's not smooth and suave and like playing a game and wanting to just hook up and like, I don't know. I just want a real person that I can talk to and have a nice evening out with. Going on a date is not about necessarily finding your husband. For me, it's like, I want to connect with people. I want to get to know other personalities. I want to have good, deep, interesting, respectful conversation. And if there's flirt and fun, awesome. If there's not, okay. I just don't want to hate the experience. And so, but this guy seemed really fun, and he's like, you want to go out tonight? I was like, yeah, sure, let's just do it. Let's just do it. What's the worst that can happen? So I met him. I met him at this place in North Bay Village. It's called the Citadel, and it's really cool. It's this big indoor like flea market shopping area, and then a food hall. So all these different food vendors, and then upstairs is a rooftop bar with like really cool lighting and tree. It's beautiful. So I didn't know about it. He told me to meet him there. So I met him there. I went in. I immediately went into the ladies' room. And when I was in the ladies' room, he texted me and said, hey, I'm inside, just outside the restrooms. And so I got that text when I was washing my hands, looking in the mirror, like, so I see this text from him. And I look to my left, and there's another woman in the bathroom about to leave. And she was my height, and she was blonde. She was about 60, and she was not my body type. And so I looked over at her, and she was about to leave. I said, I'm coming out of the bathroom now. and then I just waited. I don't know, like a good 90 seconds. And then I walked out of the bathroom, and he was standing there, and he looked up kind of like this. And I just said, you thought that was me a minute ago, didn't you? He's like, yes. And he said, that was not nice. I was like, I had to. It was too perfect. So anyway, so it was off to a good start. He was very nervous. I don't know. I'm not nervous in these situations. Probably because I run boot camp, and strangers come up every day, and I have to welcome them and say hello, and think this is the thing. So I just don't get nervous. But I'm also not a jerk. Like I don't know. Anyway. So we went upstairs and got seated and had a really great conversation. Super nice, super fun. He's Midwestern, so lots we can relate to. Really fun. Had a great time. It was a couple of days before I got COVID. Anyway, so walked me to my car, little goodnight peck. It was perfect. I really thought, yeah, I'll see this guy again. And then I got COVID, and then he got COVID. And so, but he was so nice. He kept in touch while I was sick. He texted over Christmas, how are you doing? I'm doing, like, he was very nice. And so I was interested in seeing him again. Everything was great. And I wasn't super attracted to him, like, crazy, but, like, I wasn't unattracted to him, and he was nice. His name was Neil with 2 L's. So I can say that because I'm going to tell you his last name, and I don't even know. Anyway, Neil with 2 L's. They all have code names, but that's his real name. Anyway, so I was sick with COVID, and then I started to get better. I got the antibodies. I was feeling a lot better, but I hadn't tested yet. But he was all better, and so we were both like super sick of being stuck in the house. So I think it was like the 30th. He's like, hey, do you want to get together and just go for a walk or something and be outside? And I'm like, yes, I do. So we decided just on a whim, I just threw on high tops and a sundress, put my hair in a ponytail. Like, this isn't like date, it's just get out of the house. And he was still tested positive, I was still tested positive. We're like, well, we can't get each other sick, but we were both better. So met him and sat at this outdoor, like, it was this outdoor plant nursery. They turned into a concert venue at night. Little concert venue. They have a little stage. So they had jazz. We sat. I brought my balloon animals because he didn't believe that I made balloon animals. So I made balloon animals. Great conversation. It was awesome. He saw a little bit of my personality. I made some balloon animals for the lady at the door who was taking tickets. Made her night. It was super fun. He seemed very impressed. So he came in for, more than the peck. And I just had to remind him, you are originally, he's a Cubs fan. I'm like, the Cubs, they hit home runs and grand slams. Okay? You're used to that. I'm a Minnesota Twins fan. Maybe a single here or there. So just keep that in mind as to what base you're getting to here, sir. See how I use humor to deflect from awkward conversations? But anyway, there was definitely chemistry there, and I was definitely excited to see him again. But, a lady. So he asked me what I was doing for New Year's Eve, and I said, I don't know, I'm probably doing nothing, and I have to test negative before I can go anywhere. So 3 o'clock on New Year's Eve, he texted me and said, hey, do you want to come, do you want to go to the beach tonight and play Twister and ring in the new year? Well, I was on my way to get tested, and I said, I ignored the question because no, I did not want to play Twister on the beach with him at midnight. I know what that means. But I wouldn't have been opposed to doing something, but I said, I'll get back to you. I'm going to get tested. 3 o'clock. 5:30, I texted him and said, you know what? I'm staying in tonight, because I was staying in tonight. I'm tired. And that's all I said. And I forget what else was said, but I just said, I said I'm tired. And he said, whoa, you went from feeling awesome this morning to being tired. I was like, yeah, it's COVID. Anyway. So later in the night, I texted him and I said, hey, what'd you end up doing tonight? Because he was going to go out anyway. He said, well, I missed out on getting in on a dinner reservation because I was waiting to hear back from you. But it's okay. And I'm like, this dude's guilt tripping me for not getting back to him in less than 2 hours. Super turn off. I didn't respond. So at midnight, I went down to the ocean. I put my feet in. I rang in the new year with my toes in the ocean. I said hello to Dory, who I ran into on the beach. And then I came inside and put my little sandy toes to bed. And he had texted me a little kissy face at like 12:05. And I saw it, and I didn't respond because I don't know you very well. You were super rude earlier, and I want to start my new year not on my phone. So I slept till like noon. 10 o'clock, he had texted good morning. I was sleeping. He texted again at noon. I was upstairs getting surprised by my friends. And so about 2 o'clock, I texted him back. I said, Happy New Year. And he said, what are you doing today? I said, my friend surprised me, and now I'm working. He called me. He's like, hey, are you mad at me? It's like, no. Why? It's like, well, we were going to hang out this weekend, and then now you're just busy, and I don't know, I can just leave you alone. I'm like, did you have something in mind? It's like, no, I just, you had indicated maybe we'd hang out, because I had said maybe we'd hang out Saturday or Sunday. I said, well, yeah, but I didn't hear from you, and I don't, do you have something in mind? And he's like, well, I don't know, you're busy, and you're working. And I said, well, I can be done working. It was just so weird. Then he's like, I gotta go. I'll call you right back. So I hung up, and I'm just like, you know what? Screw this. I do not need to be guilt tripped. And what the hell? Why are you being clingy to me? I've met you 2 times in my life, and whatever. So he called back, and I didn't answer because I didn't really know what to say. So then he texted me and said, hey, let's go play Twister. I said, actually, I'm going to pass. That conversation got very awkward. And I left it at that. And he tried to call me, I don't know, a billion more times. And I just didn't talk to him. And that was the end of Neil with 2 L's. So I don't know, maybe I did something wrong. But I don't understand any of the things that happened there. Like, we had a good time, but call me your tits. Like, I don't know. Use your words. Just stop assuming. I don't know. It was just weird. Are you mad at me? I don't know you well enough to be mad at you, sir. I've spent 5 hours of my life near you. Ugh. So, vomit. Then there was this really, really great guy. I met this guy on Bumble, and I didn't get to meet him in person. He was here in town, and so that's why he showed up in my match queue. But he was in town visiting his business partner and potentially looking for a place to live here. And he's from Connecticut. And I got all dressed up to go meet him because he said we would meet. Well, then he couldn't meet because he got stuck on the boat and couldn't get back in, whatever. And I was like, oh, sure. But he ended up FaceTiming me from the boat. He's like, no, really, they closed the way back into the harbor because of this cruise ship. And I'm like, whatever, maybe, who cares? Like, sure, I'm not going to cry about it. I don't know you. I'm not attached to this. But I was bummed because his profile and everything about him was like kind of what I would look for. And he was really cute. So anyway, we started talking, and we talked a few times. We had a couple of 2-hour FaceTime calls, just so aligned on so many things. I was really, really excited about him. We were sending each other Marco Polos, and it was just awesome. I was super into him, and he's like, I'm trying to figure out how I can get back down to Florida before Christmas. I'd love to meet you in person. Well, then he got COVID, and then he stopped talking as much because he had COVID, and I let him be because he had COVID, and then that basically petered out. We had one conversation while I had COVID. It was a 2-hour FaceTime, and I'm like, all right, there is still something here. And then I never heard from him again, except I got one Marco Polo. It was like, hey, you. Just got done at the eye doctor. Just wanted to say hi. Okay. So anyway, I sent him one final message and was like, doesn't seem like we're keeping in touch. Can you just clarify? Because I really enjoyed talking to you. And I didn't hear anything. So it's like weird how it can be so like intense and then nothing. But he's in Connecticut. I probably wouldn't, who cares? So all that to say, that's what's going on. I don't really have a wrap up on that. I did decide to delete my dating apps though, because I would really like to meet someone in real life. Dating apps are exhausting. It takes so much energy and thought, like swiping and looking, and then when you talk to them and then it's just so much work to like figure out if people are who they say they are, or even if they might be who they say they are, but they just might not be a connection once you actually see them. And you've invested even 5 minutes of emotional energy. It's so much work. So anyway, so no more dating apps for Kristen. I'm just going to continue with my plan of going out more, doing more things, meeting people organically, and understanding that like I have a lot going on. And if I were to meet somebody, I don't have a lot of time to date. So dating is going to be something that's going to be a very part-time thing. So why spend so much time thinking about it and swiping on it? And I'm much happier now that I made that decision/conclusion. So that's the dating relationship thing. It's funny because I met my first husband online back in 1996 in chat rooms when you had to hit refresh to get a new screen. So I've met everyone that I've been with. I've met online except for my second husband. I met him organically, and then he's the one I married. So anyway, what am I looking for in a guy though? All the things that I'm looking for in a guy are things that I just need to continue to nurture in myself, which is my number one philosophy about dating anyway. If I want someone who is earnest and steadfast and has beautiful character and has empathy and compassion and is working on themselves and self-aware and funny and fun and hardworking and successful, I need to be all those things. So that gives me a lot to focus on and do. And who knows? I also know that I could die completely single for the rest of my life. And based on how my life is right now, that would not be terrible either. I have a ridiculously amazing life. But yeah, it'd be nice to share some of it too. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm open to whatever, but you know what I'm not open to is to choosing anything less than something that would be better than what I already have, which that's part of the problem. It's really hard to top my life. It's really hard to add anything to my life that makes it better. My life is so amazing. I'm not bragging. I'm I'm so happy that I don't know. It's hard it's hard to imagine a relationship not like actually detracting from some awesomeness in my life. But we'll see. Stay tuned to the drama and fun of Kristen's romantic dating life. Maybe we'll make this a series. I've thought about doing a podcast or a clubhouse or something called Kristen After Dark, because I have a lot of thoughts and opinions about things that are not appropriate for normal podcasting. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions about women and men and relationship and sexuality and connection and monogamy and a lot of those things. So if I can find the proper place to put it where I know my mother won't find it or hear it, then I might do that. Ooh, I could make it subscription based so that people have to pay. She would never pay money to hear her daughter talk about sex. Oh, if she even hears this. All right. Anyway, that's all. This has been Story Time with Kristen, the relationship edition.